समस्तजन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Okay, so now this is chapter 3, verse 27. Last time we did till the verse 26, which, to go back a little, I said the translation of verse 26 is, let no wise man unsettle the mind of the ignorant people who are attached to action. He should engage them in all actions, himself fulfilling them with devotion. See, this is an important verse. Interesting that all of us, when we even a little bit of spiritual advancement we get, we want to try and stop other people from doing this and doing that and doing that, and say it's all useless. Why are you doing it? Don't do this, don't do that. And look how clearly Krishna has said that the wise people who know and are knowledgeable and are advancing should not stop other people. They should not unsettle the mind of the ignorant. You should allow them to let them do whatever they are doing. And why? The next verse will tell you this. Because there is a flow, there is a strength with which their vasanas exhaust themselves, and you can't stop it. Even if you try to do it by force, it will come out. So the best is not to stop them. Just let them do whatever they are doing. Only you can slightly change the direction of the flow of their activities, slightly change the direction of their thinking, but don't stop them from acting. So next verse, प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढात्मा कर्ता अहमिति मन्यते. Now, how and why is an ignorant man attached to action? देखो, he says प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणे कर्माणि सर्वशः. And ahankara vimoodatma. Vimood, a person who is very, very foolish. Mood is a foolish person. And Vimood, a very, very foolish person. So ahankara vimoodatma means a person who thinks that he does. कि मैं करता हूं. That person is vimoodha, because he doesn't know. It is on the body, mind, and intellect cannot act at all. The fuel for the body, mind, and intellect are his old desires, are his old vasanas, because of which the body is born. And with that fuel, the body will move. He cannot stop it. So anybody who has a vasana towards anything, a desire towards anything, will be propelled in that direction. You can't stop him. So he says, ahankara vimoodatma karta ahamiti manyate. Karta, he does things, ahamiti manyate, feeling that I do. ये मन्यते, ये ना मानते हुए, ये मानते हुए कि मैं करता हूं. अहमिति, अहमिति मीन्स मैं करता हूं. अहम करता. देखो अहंकार, the word ahankar is made up of aham kar, means I do. So ego is nothing else but that I do. Aham kar. Okay? Now see, Gurudev used to give an example. Over here, a person who thinks I do is as foolish. Gurudev gives an example that a car is going uphill. You know, when you go to these hill stations, the car is constantly going uphill. Now, when the car is going uphill, The man who's driving it happens to notice the fuel tank, and he thinks that, oh, the fuel is finishing. I did not take fuel before climbing up. Now, Gurudev used to say he shouldn't have said it to his wife, but he says that, oh, I made this mistake. So after that, his wife is at him. You are always like this. You never do things on time. You are forgetful. You are this, you are that. So the little child sitting between them says, Papa, don't worry. I'll push the car and the car will go up. You don't have to worry. Even if the fuel stops, I'm pushing from inside. So he puts both his little hands on the dashboard and he pushes with all his might. This is what is ahamkara, ahankar. We are all like that. We think that we are doing. And it is with our force, with our might, that things happen. It is, Gurudev used to say, it is exactly like this little child. And the Papa also plays along with him. Yes, son, come on, come on. Very good, very good. See, the fuel is almost finished. It is only because of your effort that the car is going. And the child believes it. Ahamiti. That I am doing. His mind is telling him, I am doing. And that is how he is doing. So, this is a very stupid thing to do. See, I read the translation of the verse. All actions are made up of, in all cases, merely by the qualities of nature, gunas. Hmm? Gunas means compelled by your desires, controlled and compelled by your desires will be all your actions. He whose mind is deluded by egoism thinks, I am the doer. And that is why I said that, any body that takes form according to the vasanas of that person. His mind, intellect, as well as body will be formed accordingly. And that is why all of us look different, don't we? We think differently, and our thoughts are different from each other. Each one. The reason is that our body, mind, and intellect is ordered by our past likes, dislikes, and desires. And therefore, each one of us is different. Now, when we are made differently, we behave differently. See, when you have cars, different makes, now the engines are empowered differently. This much horsepower, that much horsepower, this is turbo, this is I don't even know the technical terms, but that each car has different kind of capabilities and different kind of uh, uh, fuel capacities, different kind of power. So, why are they like that? They are each one for different purposes. Similarly, our body, and that car will behave only according to its capacities. That is what he's saying. That this vehicle of yours, is run on the fuel of your vasanas, and it will go according to that. And once those vasanas are exhausted, it will not move. Just like when the fuel in your car is finished, you can keep trying to start it, finished. The whole car is there. The engine is intact. There's nothing wrong with it. It hasn't met an accident. But the fuel has finished. The car will not move. The same happens to the body. The same happens to the body. It will not move at all. It's over. It's dead once the fuel of the vasanas is over. But you have to very clearly understand that mental vasanas react in the world of objects, and that is what is called actions. And you are helpless mostly in those actions because your past propels you, your past pushes you, and only the person who feels that he is doing, he is the one who goes through the anxiety. Egocentric activities will always breed anxiety. I do, I am doing. This is going to breed anxiety, because it is propelled by your own vasanas. Now, see, uh, take another example. The dreamer in his dream feels that he is doing, okay? He is the one who suffers the sorrows. The dreamer suffers the sorrows of whatever is happening in the dream because he identifies totally with the dream personality. Similarly, when we identify with the body, mind, and intellect, so whatever happens to the body and mind and intellect, we think is happening to us. Whereas if you dive deep inside yourself, try to understand who is moving the body, who is moving the mind, who is moving the intellect. That is just a power to which nothing happens. Nothing is happening. The sorrow and anxiety belongs only to the body, mind, and intellect. When the dreamer wakes up and becomes a waker, the dreamer is liberated, isn't he? The dreamer is liberated from his sorrows. The dreamer is liberated from his dream anxieties, dream sorrows, dream happiness, dream experiences. He is a waker. It's all gone. Similarly, in this life, the moment you disidentify, disengage from the body, mind, and intellect and watch yourself behaving and see how you are doing what you are doing and understand that the body is interacting with the objects of the world as according to its vasanas, you are liberated from that action. You will not be part of the sorrows of that action. Now, see, uh, a fan is moving. The fan cannot move on its own. But since the fan does not identify with the movement, the fan is not feeling dizzy. The fan will never feel dizzy because it is an object. It doesn't have consciousness and it does not understand that I am doing, that I am moving. If you start going round and round standing in one place, देखिए कितनी बार you do it, take those chakkars that a Kathak dancer takes, go on doing it, then you start feeling dizzy, because you feel you are the body and you are moving. That is the reason. So, when you work with a detached attitude in this world, then you will never feel sorry, because you will understand that the body is working according to its past, and that is how it will be. See, even memory, when you try to detach yourself from the body, mind, and intellect, it is the memory that harasses you. Memory of things past that have disturbed you. Somebody said something. What is the reality of that? Think about it. Someone said something years back to you, but the memory of that is so etched in your mind and intellect that you reminisce it and cry. You think about that thing that happened and you cry today. It's not happening just now. So, what is making you sad? The memory of it. Huh? And as Tejo Menon says, memory is nothing but memory. He translates it into Hindi, memory. And of course, but the thing is that try to obliterate the memory of past happenings. Your slate will be clean. Don't you take a physical bath? You take a physical bath to remove the dirt of yesterday, isn't it? What about a memory bath? What about a mental bath? Gurudev used to say that before sitting for meditation, just minus the past from your mind totally. Behave with the Lord as if you are sitting with Him for the first time, you and He are meeting. The past memory is all gone. It is the residual thoughts that cause you to feel sorry. The thought of I did or someone else did to me is the only cause for sorrow from the past. Just block it. Just drop it. Even if it has happened in the morning with you, somebody misbehaved in the morning in the family, just drop it. And once you drop it, you've had a mental bath. You are clean again. That memory is not going to trouble you. You are lending the power to the memory to trouble you. That action is long past. And see, people will behave according to their vasanas. People will behave according to their temperaments. People will behave according to their likes and dislikes. And according to their own brains and minds. Yours is different. Theirs is different. You can't change them. But you can certainly disidentify from them and understand that just like you can't help behaving the way you do, the others also can't help behaving the way they do. But why should you suffer because of their behavior? It is stupid. You are suffering because of the memory you have of that behavior. Drop that memory. When you drop that memory, you totally disidentify from that mental condition, right? And then you are okay. Next verse. तत्त्ववेत्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्म विभागयोः गुणागुणेषु वर्तन्त इति मत्वा न सज्जते. Gunas will act with other gunas. Now, this only means that your mind and intellect, the texture of your vasanas, will burst through your body, mind, and intellect to interact with the objects of the world. Objects में people भी आते हैं. With every body in the world and with all the objects in the world, your body, mind, and intellect acts according to your vasanas. Now, you all have to understand that your past has to be exhausted. It has to get exhausted. And that exhaustion is taking place by the body. What you have to remember very clearly is exhaust the past and not create the future. Gurudev used to give a very interesting example. He used to say, I mean, he must have, when he was a student, I believe some friend of his used to drink a lot and then he used to vomit. Now, this is an example Gurudev gave. He says, like the professional drunkard's vomit, he saves his tie and his suit when he vomits. He holds it tightly to himself and throws out the vomit. So the past playing through your body, mind, and intellect, play it like that. Save yourself. You don't get a drop of it on yourself. Don't allow a drop of it on yourself. But what you drank has to be thrown out, and it will be thrown out. So many actions when you do, you feel that I shouldn't get angry. No, it's very bad to get angry. Still you are getting angry, isn't it? That is reaction from the past. Your body, mind, intellect is throwing out. But save yourself from it. You don't get muddied. You don't get soiled. And try to reserve yourself. So senses and sense objects are around you and they will keep on interacting with each other. Guna guneshu vartante. It is a mechanical kind of reaction that is taking place. Now see this tattva vittu mahabaho. Tattva vittu. Vitt means जिसको आप हिंदी में कहते हैं ना वाला, पान वाला, साइकिल वाला, हाँ, सब्जी वाला कहते हो ना. तो this with is wala. Here it is saying Tattvavit. Tattvavit means the man who has the knowledge of the essence, Tattva. The man who has the knowledge of the truth. He is Tattvavit. Okay, so the wise man, you can call him, the wise man of true knowledge. What is the Lord saying? I'll read the translation. But he who knows the truth, O mighty armed, about the divisions of the qualities and their functions, and who knows that gunas as senses move amidst gunas as object. Translate it like this, that the senses will move among the objects. That is guna, guneshu vartanta. But is you are not attached to them. You are away from them, right? So this is all ordered by the past and it will be exhausted. It is ordered by your past, your thoughts, your actions. All your likes and dislikes are built by your past, right? Now, so see, इसमें एक चीज बड़ी interesting है. Gunas will interact with gunas, but when you stay separate from them, you stay with the truth of yourself. That is what is depicted in the paintings of the Maharas. You must have seen paintings, pictures, embroidery pieces and all. Gujarat में तो बहुत होती हैं. All the sorry, all the pitchwais are made of most of them are made of Maharas. It's a very common thing. In which, what is the picture? The full moon, the Yamuna river, Krishna standing with his flute in the middle, and the gopis dancing all around him. Okay, now each gopi is dancing with one Krishna. Have you seen that painting? You must have seen. All of you must have seen that. It's a very common. It's called a Maharas painting or a Maharas Pichwai. Now, in that, please notice, ये जो Maharas का है, I don't want to go into the details of that because it will take up a lot of time to explain Maharas. But understand only this much. Krishna did nothing. He is not even dancing. As you can see, he is standing in the middle with his flute. Krishna is only playing on his flute. Okay? The gopis, because of their attraction to the flute and to Krishna, run to him. That is on the full moon night. And when they run to him and they want to dance with him, Krishna, in fact, if you read the Bhagavad, Krishna says in the Bhagavad that all of you are married women. And why have you left your husbands and your family, your children and your homes at night and come here? Go back. This is what he tells them. Why are you here? But they say that no, the magic of your flute attracts us and we want to come and dance with you. So whose desire is it? It is not Krishna's desire. It is the desire of the gopis. And therefore, because of their desire, because of their attachment, because of their projection, Krishna only stands in the middle playing the flute. He is motionless. He is not dancing. Each gopi feels that Krishna is dancing with her. Just like we attach ourselves to our body, mind, and intellect and think we are the doers. We are doing. We are dancing. We are eating. We are sleeping. We are fighting. We are bulldozing. We are whatever. So it is that thing. Understand that you are the motionless Krishna, standing amongst in the middle of all activity. That activity is taking place because of you, yes, but you are not acting. If you just understand that much, you have won the day. So then you will not unnecessarily keep on jumping about here, there, and everywhere because of your likes and dislikes. Gurudev used to say, this verse is also the continuation of the previous verse and trying to saying trying to say that don't interfere with people who are doing all kinds of things. Just like the drunkard friend of Gurudev who used to drink at night and then return back to the hostel after vomiting and all that. Gurudev says that don't help, don't try to help anybody, don't try to stop anybody from any action, just watch him. But if he is really ready to lie in the gutter and he is really going to either kill himself or go into depression or something, it is only then that try and help him, that no, I have to save you from this. But otherwise, let them act, let them continue, because their vasanas have to exhaust. They will continue, no matter how much you tell them, they will continue to do what they enjoy doing. And they enjoy doing it because it is the play of their vasanas, it is a play of their likes and dislikes. Now, over here, Krishna says one thing. See, he calls Arjun Mahabahu. See, the actions take place by karma, guna karma vibhagayo. Actions will play. But he calls him Mahabaho. Mahabaho was a term used as, if you translate it, as a mighty armed. Mighty armed. That means a hero was called a Mahabaho because of his heroism. Here, the heroism is not in killing enemies, not in defeating others, but here the term Mahabahu is, he is using it for Arjun to incite him to conquer the enemies within, to conquer his likes and dislikes, conquer his depressions, conquer his anger, conquer all the negative things inside him, which he must conquer and rise up. Only then he is a supreme hero. He is a perfect hero if he can do that. That is why he calls him Mahabahu. Okay. Next verse. प्रकृतेर्गुणसम्मूढाः सञ्जन्ते गुणकर्मसु तान् अकृत्स्नविदो मन्दान् कृत्स्नविन्न न विचालयेत्. It says, those deluded by the qualities of nature are attached to the functions of the qualities. The man of perfect knowledge should not unsettle the foolish. See, again, he is repeating the same thing. If you are knowledgeable, you have Brahma Gyan. Someone has been kind enough to teach you that great Brahma knowledge, Brahma Gyan, right? But you should not unsettle the foolish. Don't start giving him Gyan. हम लोग को ज्ञान बांटने की बड़ी आदत होती है. कोई भी दुखी होता है, you genuinely you want to help that person, right? So you start कि नहीं नहीं ऐसे नहीं ऐसे नहीं वैसे नहीं. Don't do it. He says should not unsettle the foolish who is of imperfect knowledge. So anybody, his tempo of work, you should not stop. See, this is very important verse for all of us. We all fall into this category. Okay? See, people love to work. We are action oriented people. Most of us are action oriented. But what he's trying to say is, Gurudev said this, don't get drowned in activity. Most of us are so enthusiastic about any one thing that we go on acting because of our nervous anxiety for the result of those actions. So when you go on doing that, then your vasanas are of course exhausting themselves, but slow it down. Slow it down. This is advice for seekers. You must slow it down. If you are into too much of activity, even if you think it is benefiting others, like every day you are into 10 things, उसको फायदा पहुंचेगा, उसको पहुंचेगा, उसको पहुंचेगा, और आप करे जा रहे हो. Social workers, most of it. Those people who run NGOs, or working in NGOs. They are the ones who come into this category mostly. They overwork themselves, they overdrive themselves, thinking that they are helping others. In the bargain, what happens to them? Their mind and intellect, because of the bodily action, mental action also goes up. And your mind becomes too shaky. Your mind becomes too irritable. Your mind becomes too turbulent. And when that happens, it is very difficult to calm it down. Okay. So, what should be the tempo of your work? You have to decide yourself. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Because many people fall into this category, mind you, that they just take on too much onto themselves. They are the ones who, there is a personality kind which psychology calls taking charge. You know, there are some people who just take charge of everything. Okay, now I am responsible. Let me do this. And then they are so over anxious in doing all that they disturb their minds completely. उतना ही करिए जितना आप कर सकते हैं without disturbing your mind. That is the advice. Huh? And it says that, see, those deluded by the qualities of nature are attached to the functions of those qualities. Just slightly change the direction of the foolish ones, those who are not with Brahmagyan, those who have never heard it, those who think that they are acting. उनका सिर्फ डायरेक्शन बदलने की कोशिश करना. Just make them do things that are noble, so that their vasanas to help others are exhausted. But in a limited manner, make them understand this, that they don't have to be over enthusiastic. Work with joy, work with happiness, work as much as it gives you satisfaction. It calms you down. It makes you feel very nice that you have done something noble for the benefit of others and others are benefiting by it. That should make you happy. But there should not be even a trace of a selfish desire in it. Not even a trace. Because Gurudev used to say that if you, he played on the word selfish. He used to say, if you sell fish, you will get the stink of fish. So don't sell fish. And it's a very interesting thing to keep in mind, that the moment any selfish thought comes into your mind, understand that you are selling fish. So when you are selling fish, you are bound to get the stink from that fish. And the foolish generally act just because they want to do something, they do it without thinking. They feel like doing it, they do it. In fact, today's youngsters go about with a t-shirt I've seen, I'm sure you must have seen, with written over here, just do it. Now, just do it is like animals. Gurudev used to say that instinctual behavior is an animalistic behavior. That is why, and I'm using his words, not mine. The dog does what he does on a pole. You can't question him why. He felt like doing it, so he did it. A human being should not behave like that. He is civilized, cultured, filled with noble qualities and noble desires. He has to think before he acts. Not just because he feels like getting angry, so he gets angry. He feels like saying something ulta seedha to somebody, so he says no. You must think rationally about your actions. Are they civilized or not? Do they make someone else happy, or will your words and actions make somebody sorry? Never do them. Don't do them. That is the sign of a civilized human being, a person who's trying to lift himself. See, and he says, but those who are acting foolishly, आप उनको भाषण मत दीजिए. Don't try to enlighten them from spirituality. Don't try to, because they are not ready for it. They are not ready for it, and they will never understand what you are trying to say them. So the dull-witted people are victimized by their own mental impressions, by their own thoughts, by their own anxieties, and by their own actions. वो खुद ही परेशान होते हैं अपने जो वो कर रहे हैं उससे. So you don't meddle with that. Why he's saying don't do it is, don't unsettle them, because they will not understand. You keep on trying to tell them, they will not understand. This my thing उनको इतना ज़्यादा होता है. My child. Whenever you think my child, it is going to give you sorrow. Again, Gurudev used to give the example of you holding a hot brick. It's a gold brick, made of gold. So you don't want to give it up, but it is piping hot and you're holding it. So then Gurudev, the teacher is saying, drop it. But you say, no, my hands are burning. But still you are holding on to it. Huh? My gold. This is my gold. How can I leave it? How can I drop it? I can't drop it. It is burning your hands. It is not allowing you to sleep, not allowing you to eat, not allowing your mind to rest. Still you are clutching onto it. Drop it. So for seekers, Gurudev gave that example. He said that you should drop those things that give you trouble, no matter how much they benefit you otherwise. Now, a wise person should not come, ye mandana kritsna vinna na vichaliyet. So don't unsettle the foolish. Mand means mand buddhi wale. You know the phrase mand buddhi is the same thing. That the foolish people, don't unsettle the foolish people. Unko na vichaliyet. Na vichaliyet. Don't try to teach them, don't try to unsettle them like that. So this is what he says, and he says, okay, now this verse and the next verse, Gurudev used to say that these two verses are the backbone of the third chapter. So the next verse, of course, we will do next time, but understand that these two verses are the backbone of the second chapter. So look what he says at the end. He says, how then should actions be performed by the ignorant man who seeks liberation from his own sense of finitude when he is qualified only for action? Most of us are qualified only for action. Most of us. And therefore, we do not use our thinking to disidentify ourselves from our thoughts and actions. So how should we do it? This, the next verse we will take next time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.